I keep trying to do this and it keeps messing up. I'm trying again. Miss Kathy, I'd like to tell you thank you for everything that you're doing, for not only your daughter, but for all of us women that you don't even know. Bless you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you do. And I truly, truly mean that. And I hope that you never give up. And know that there are so many of us that are right here with you fighting hand in hand as if we were in combat ourselves, because that's really the only thing you can liken it to. That being said, to touch a little bit on the fact that you finally seem to have someone's attention, someone paying attention, I hope that they really are. I hope that they're sincere about it. If they get to watch this video, I would just like to say that it's crap. The whole justice system is crap, and I will tell any senator, any governor, Donald Trump if I have to, the entire justice system is crap. The prison system in and of itself is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. First of all, you can become an officer. All you have to do is have a GED and no criminal record. And it's bring them on camera. I don't really know how to do that. Hi. Everybody. I think that what they have going on, it's not helping us in any way at all. If you didn't watch before, I did 5 years at Lowell, 3.5 in a youthful offender program, and the rest of my time I did. Hi, Miss Kathy, you're so awesome. I did on the work camp. Now, I truly feel like had I not gone to that work camp, I would have left prison with no clue how to be a quote-unquote normal human being, because they had stripped me of everything, including my dignity. When I got to the work camp, I had no idea how to do anything. I was so amazed that I could get up and go to the bathroom on my own without asking, or get up and get something to drink, or get something out of my locker, or even speak. And had I left the youthful offender program and went home, I can only imagine how horrible that would have been for me. And I don't understand. I know so many girls that did the youthful offender program and went straight home afterwards. And I'm amazed at how fantastic a lot of them are doing. It was really, really bad for me. And even still, I have a lot of problems just dealing with day-to-day life. I have PTSD, like crazy. I've always suffered from anxiety and depression, but that got 10 times worse. And it makes it hard for me to even have a relationship. Since I've been home, I've been married and divorced, and I've only been home for 4 years. And I've been blessed that me and my best friend, he and I have been best friends for years. We're together now, and we have a baby together, and we're doing good. But a lot of times my problems that came from being in prison affect our relationship. It affects, because he doesn't know and he can't appreciate the problems that I have mentally and emotionally, because he's never experienced that. Granted, he is very patient with me, but I couldn't imagine being in his position, because it's hard for me. It's hard for me to do a lot of things, and there are days when I just go lock myself in the closet and I just cry where my kids can't hear me, because I don't know what else to do. Am I supposed to be dependent on medication for the rest of my life to be some semblance of a normal human being? Okay, and let's throw in the fact that I went to prison at 17. I was incarcerated at 16. I spent that span of my young adult life where a woman learns how to be a woman in prison. I had to grow up in an atmosphere that is not normal and is not acceptable at all. The things that I witnessed, the things that I went through. And it's not just the other inmates. It's the officers. It's the system. You put young women in a place where you surround them with each other, and they're all crazy. They all had, a majority of them had the same upbringing, so they don't know how to be women. And you're making them grow up with other children, but they never get to grow up because they're all stuck in this same little time lapse. I heard someone say you come in or you leave at the age you came in at. And that's true. There's no growth there. And there's no opportunity for when you get out to have that form of reform. You know, they put you in the reentry program, but what does that do? What does that do? It doesn't do anything. It sounds good. It looks good on paper, but it doesn't do anything. It does absolutely nothing. I did not come out with any sense of what I was getting into. Had I not been in the equine program, I don't know how I would have made it. I really have no idea. And I still struggle. You know, I still struggle. I'm fortunate that I'm articulate enough and I have common sense that I can form, every day-to-day conversations with people, and I know how to present myself, but that has nothing to do with prison. That just has to do with how I was raised. Or I wouldn't do anything. Getting a job. I had no job experience. None. I was in prison. So I get out at 21. It's like, hey, I need a job. Well, what's your job experience? What high school did you go to? Do you have any skills? Well, I can march in circles for like 8 hours. Does that help? No. And I love horses, don't get me wrong. But shoveling horse poop, for me personally, just isn't my idea career goal. It's just not. I have children. Being an exercise rider for racehorses isn't exactly a career goal for me. I don't want to die anytime soon. I would like to live as long as I possibly can to see my children and my grandchildren grow up. So, that option's out. Going back to school, well, it sounds good, but when you have all of these problems, it's hard to sit in a classroom around a bunch of strangers and feel comfortable. I can't feel comfortable in a room full of people I don't know. I have horrible social anxiety. I'm trapped inside my head 96% of the time. People invite myself and my boyfriend out all the time. Couples things, hey, come over. And I'm like, yeah, great. I'd love to get out of the house. And then as I'm getting dressed, in my mind, I'm thinking of some way, some excuse I can come up with to cancel, because the thought of being alone with other people and not really being able to handle that situation and pretend like I'm having a good time and that I'm involved. And, women, they want to talk about themselves. They want to talk about you. They want to know all your business. I don't tell people my business. I actually was asked the other day why I'm not more forthcoming about having gone to prison. That's not really any of your business. So it's hard for me to be friends with someone I don't think I can be that open with. So I don't want to have this whole friendship based off of a lie, because I feel like there's a huge part of me that you can never know because you're going to judge me for it. And that's not their fault. And they may not, but that's how I think, because that's how I've been programmed to think. I've been programmed to think and to feel like I'm not worth it. I'm not good enough for no reason. That's what prison does to us. That's what prison makes us feel like. And I know I'm not the only one. I mean, on that part. And I think that it's so important to share with other women, men, whoever that are in the situation, that that you are not what you've done. You're not what's been done to you. You are a fantastic individual. And yes, you may have problems. And yes, you may break down. But you got this. You made it out. You did it. You're here. You're trying. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And I have to tell myself that on a daily basis. That I have to look myself in the mirror and be like, Evelyn, you got this. Because a lot of times I feel like I don't. But it's because I was worn down so much. They want to come up with some ideas. They want to know some way to make the justice system better. Help us when we get out. Help us to get out. Instead of helping to put us in there and leave us in there and just say, hey, you know what? You did something wrong. Let's just stick you in a hole somewhere and forget about you and collect a paycheck every day for it. How about you help? Because there are women in there who actually need help. There are girls, children, young females who need help. They need to know that there's another way to laugh besides robbing and stealing and selling drugs and selling themselves. That's a crucial thing to know. And there are so many young females and people are probably like, come on, Evelyn. I'm serious. These girls don't know. They have no idea. Someone needs to teach them. And when they get out, something more needs to be there than besides a halfway house. Because guess what? That scares the crap out of just about anybody. To know that they've been incarcerated for X amount of time and now they're going to get out and have to basically still be incarcerated. to live in a house or apartment or whatever with a bunch of people they don't know who are struggling the same way they are. No, I need somebody that's got it halfway together that can be like, yo, Evelyn, this is what you need to do. I'm going to help you do it. You know, my little sister was just 2 years ago. I sat her down and showed her how to fill out a job application. She had no idea how to fill out a job application. I said, I'm going to help you. I got this. And I'm thinking, how many of those girls in there have never filled out a job application? They don't teach you how to do that. That's something you learn through experience. Your parents teach you, or your aunts, or your grandparents, or your homeboy. Somebody teaches you how to do that. You just don't know how to fill out a job application. She had no idea. How many of those girls in there don't know how to do that? How many of them girls in there, they don't know how to dispose properly of feminine products? No one ever taught them. They need to be taught that. They need to be taught to wear deodorant. They need to be taught to dispose of those hygiene products properly. They need to be taught how to dress and how to act in an interview. Not rhetorically, a real interview. And let's be honest, we're not going to get no fancy job, because even if you do go to school, which I was under the impression I could go to school for whatever I wanted, right? And as long as the board approved me with my, felon, that I could get a job doing that. No, yeah, sure, you can go to school for whatever you want, but you ain't going to get a job doing it. You're not just going to go out and get a job to be a child psychologist, Evelyn. You have a violent charge against another human being. I mean, a violent charge against another human being. That's scary, yeah, to live with, but to know that I'm going to be judged for it for the rest of my life. So I can't do child psychology. I can't be a teacher. What else am I interested in? Business? Sure. I went to school for business for 2 years and I wanted to hang myself. Some people can, some people can't. I can't. So now I'm, what am I supposed to do with the rest of my life? Work some dead-end job because I made a mistake when I was 16? Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's my goal. One of my best friends, she was on here, Megan. If y'all watched Megan McPhail's video, she is one of the strongest people I know. I have so much respect for her. She is 38 and she went to prison later in life. She made a mistake. That's what happened. She lost everything. And this girl works 3 jobs, 2 9-to-5s and then a side job. And she makes enough money to pay her bills and might have a little bit left over. If she had children like I do, she couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. Someone who has an education, someone who built her life up, can't do anything now. She can't do anything. She works at Panera's. This woman, this beautiful, strong, fantastic individual who has done something with her life, is not able to re-enter at a level where she can even support herself comfortably because of a mistake she made. You want to talk about reform, Mr. Senator, Mr. Governor, Mr. Mayor, Mr. President? Let me tell you about something about reform. It doesn't work unless you work it. Just because it sounds good, just because it looks good, doesn't mean it is good. Actually, I'm almost positive it isn't. Because what works is what's hard. What works is something no one's tried before. What works is sitting down and actually talking to people and hearing their ideas and then applying them. Because unless you can apply what comes out of your mouth, it ain't nothing but wasted air. You want to help change the world? The people you put behind bars are some of the strongest, smartest individuals that I have ever come in contact with. I meet people who've never been in my parents. My mother has never been to jail. Well, I think she spent the night in jail one time when she was in her 20s. Then you got people like Jennifer Barrett or Farrah Ward or Catherine Klessman or Megan McPhail, and the list goes on and on and on. Amy Borland. All these wonderful, fantastic, strong, independent women whose lives are ruined because of a mistake they made because our justice system just can't seem to get it together. And you have children. Morgan Leppert went to prison at 13. 13. For a crime that her boyfriend committed and she was just there with him. 13, and she has 3 life sentences. How's that feel? What are her chances? What are her odds? What happens to her? A woman I was in prison with, Denise Sheehan, hippie, one of the most fantastic women I've ever met. So strong, so independent. She has 3 wonderful children. She's making it. She's doing it, but it's hard. You know, another fantastic example. If that woman hadn't been there for me when I was in prison, I seriously think I would have lost my mind. She was like my mom, you know, and I can remember having conversations with her one-on-one, you know, those talks that you don't really think matter, but then you look back and you're like, holy crap, that really mattered. Talking to her and just, you know, what are you going to do when you go home a little bit? And I have no idea. I have no idea, boss. I have no idea what I'm going to do. And I still have no idea what I'm going to do. Hey! Oh, that's awesome. I love you. You're fantastic. You like my video. I'm going to cry. This is hard. It's hard for us out here. And I hope that this all makes a difference. I hope that this Facebook page, I hope that everything you're doing, Miss Kathy, I hope that it all just makes a difference. I hope that everybody really listens to what we have to say, and that everybody really shares their experiences and how they feel, because if nothing else is going to change, this has to change. Because these women sit in there and then they get out and they have nothing and they have no one and they have no clue. And they have no clue, none whatsoever. And all the programs, they sound good, but you get people in there that don't care. You get people in there that aren't educated. You get people in there who are just more worried about a paycheck than they are the people. And I'm not talking about just the guards. I'm talking about everybody. Medical staff, whether it be the psychological people, you know, or, you know, the doctors or the dentists. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a crap. And then you get out and you get into these, you know, halfway houses or rehabilitation programs, and they don't give a crap. Nobody gives a crap. They're going to do what they have to do to get their paycheck and go home. And that's not going to do anything. You want to make a change, you start at the bottom. You don't start at the top, because shit rolls downhill, man. You start at the bottom and you work your way up. And if you can't get it right, then stop talking about it. If you can't get it right, stop doing it. What's the definition of insanity? And that's what's been going on for so long, that now Florida has one of the highest incarceration rates in the country. And guess what? Their turnover rate is the highest. I mean, and you do 80% of your time, 90% of your time, whatever, 80%, I think it's 80%. You do 80% of your time, then you go home, and when you're home for a year, and then you go right back to the Reoffender Act. If I get pulled over, the first thing you do when they run my name is ask me what I'm doing. I'm going to the grocery store, dude. I'm sorry that I didn't use my turn signal, but I'm a target because I'm a felon. I'm not a criminal. I never stole anything. I never robbed anybody. I got in a fight. I got jumped. I defended myself with a pocket knife. I'm sorry. I'm from the country. That's how things go. I had a pocket knife. And if I wouldn't have used it, I would have died. I don't regret what I did. I regret how it played out, but I don't regret what I did. And I'm here because of it. Luckily, I didn't come out a statistic, but so many people do. And again, it's not going to change unless somebody steps up and says, all right, let's make a difference. So, all that being said, yeah, Mr. Congressman, I hope you really do something. Hope that this meeting that's coming up on the 13th really goes somewhere. I love you, Hippie. You're fantastic. I love you, and I miss you so much. Dang it. I don't want to cry on here. Everybody's watching me. So yeah, the thing that's coming up, what I was talking about, 13th, the thing that's coming up. I hope that whoever can go goes, and whoever has a voice uses it. If you have to shout from the top of the mountaintop, you can. Need a bodyguard, let me know. I know some big guys. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, because they can't do anything more to you. What are they going to do? Tell you to shut up? Well, guess what? We don't have to, because we're not in prison anymore, and we don't have to listen to them, and we need to help all the ones we left behind. So, high five, everybody. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to press finish.